halfway down the trail.
Well, if something starts sliding, you'd be more than halfway down the trail.
First falls, big pool under it. Second falls, big pool.
See how it looks like it's getting further up between the trees.
Getting a little bit. There's the powerhouse. The porthole windows and the built out of blocks of rock. Perfectly normal. Perfectly normal. Tygh Valley Powerhouse. Take two. When I first came here, this is the area I spotted first was this arch down here with 5 foot of clearance and parts inside. It's almost as if this was poured as concrete. I mean, look at the little rocks in there. Did they come and stuff little rocks in and then mortar them, or was it some sort of huge chunk of concrete that was poured? We got blackberries around it. So it's, yeah. Over there, very blackberried. Dang, I should have bought the machete. Hmm. Very odd. It's definitely been, I mean, is that how you mortar? I mean, you don't usually just slather that much mortar over the top of things, but I guess. And it's very flush still. Check that out. Come over here to the corner and see. Right? Hasn't really shifted much at all. Right? Very flush. Yeah. Square bolt? Yeah, square bolts. Somewhere up there. Square bolts. It's a half arch. Like, and then that concrete has been poured there. But it also looks like the arch stops right there. Like, originally, what, they built half an arch right there? That seems weird. And then mushed concrete over the front. Seems weird, I don't know. Seems weird. But this building seems like it was not purpose built. It seems very much like it was here and they decided to put in a power plant and they retrofitted everything to make the power plant go in there. Because they would have no need for these extra arched windows on a power plant that they're not using for anything light, I guess. But and then the front over here, there is windows that are filled in with the same rock that the place is built out of. So they built the windows in with the arches, and then they immediately filled them in. That seems weird. I don't think they do that. Yeah. And check this out. And this thing out here too, with the pipe going through the wall, seems kind of weird, right? But make sure I'm zooming back. Okay, right? There's the top. There's the arch, some support structure, and there's rocks filling in the window. The same rocks the thing's built out of. Like they just built it, built the arches, and here's the next one. put these arches in here, and then we'll fill it in immediately. You wouldn't build the arch and then fill it in. That's not how it would work. Nobody builds like that. You smell professionals? There's a lizard. It's a lizard in there. Oh, where'd he go? It's in here somewhere. Lizard. Where it is. Okay. But that, yeah. Okay. And what about the arch here? Oh yeah, this one. There was a window here before they put the door in. Free Palestine. Why not? Right? And here's what was there a window there? That's been filled in below. That's not a repair. That was an arch or something, right? But the arches are not. You wouldn't build like that. And certainly if you were building the building in order to put a power plant in it, you would build the building so that the power plant would get nice and fit and snug and like a machine. You wouldn't have extra windows you don't need, arches that you fill in immediately. So it kind of gives the impression the building was already here. And if that's the case, then the Native Americans built like this. They put those, Greco-Roman style arch things made out of big heavy rocks embedded in the ground and stuff. The Indian natives didn't build that way according to the story. The power plant and the building are two separate things. They're two separate eras of our civilization, or somebody's civilization, not ours. We could build something like this. It's not that the scale is so large that we couldn't do it, but the timeline does not work for us doing it in this location at all. And then it's pretty clear that it was not originally made for a power plant because they busted holes in the walls and ran pipes through them, and then they put in other things they don't need and fill them in. That wouldn't make any sense. Here's what intrigues me, one of the things, is this designs in the window there, the 3 portholes. If they have portholes in the walls at a dam structure, you would think they'd have pipes going through them, but the pipes don't go through them. They have designs in them. You get up here where I can see the designs. They're cool. I'd like to take one of those, but I probably shouldn't. I don't know how I get up there. But yeah. We got the 4-point, the 5-point, and then the 4-point with little swoops. And what do they mean? The symbols or something. Cymatic patterns. Like if I repeat that pattern somehow, if I made a motor and that was my core shape, and those were plates of a core, would that be the way to go? And the roof here, yeah, that's a. And why is there rubble everywhere? It's just rubble. It looks like they did an airstrike on the dam up there, and then after they were done with it, like, oh, we don't want anybody using this. Let's blow it up. And that's a rather large door. Son of Maguchi. Son of Hibachi. And a slab here to carry something along. Cover this pipe maybe? Keep the pipe down? I don't know. But yeah, this is doorway in here. That is, let's see, that's a 12-foot doorway. It's a 12-foot. And poured concrete on the roof. You can see where the gutter piece is sticking out. But that looks much newer, like the gutter and the concrete on the roof. Maybe like the walls were here already and the windows and all that stuff, and they came and poured their own concrete on top of the roof. That's a possibility, right? And they put these tanks in here. I mean, the big door would be to get the big tanks in. Okay, they could have went on their end, possibly, but maybe not. No arch over that doorway. Or this one for that matter. It's flat. Wall around the back there. I don't see no bricks though. It's not a brick structure. Yeah, these things are cool. Lizard. A lot of lizards. A lot of lizards. Okay, here's an example of what you wouldn't do if you were building a power plant and a building to house it. You wouldn't build your building, have your archway in the ground. You see that archway? It's right here at ground level. An archway, and then you blow the archway out and fill it in with rocks so that you could run your pipe through. You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't waste your time building this nice arch piece here. You can clearly see this thing. It used to go all the way across, and then they busted. Oh no, the pipe won't fit. We got to do it this way. No, wouldn't happen. Let alone needing all the windows and then filling them in the front. Makes no sense. Let's go inside. Into the world of Electro Woman and Dynamo Girl. Okay. It says Pelton. Big Pelton wheel on that. Or Pelton made the turbine. I'm in the area where the core was. Here's a flywheel, rather large, right? There's where the generator would be. These are the steel plates that made up basically the core, like a transformer core is, except these are the core of the generator, the stator, I guess you'd call it. And then it had copper wound all through it, and then they spun this one and powered it up, and there are slip rings that probably you would power that up. Yeah, anyway, y'all know how that goes. Generators, you can probably identify the pieces. There's even little bits of copper stuck in them in some places. Little pieces of copper wire that they didn't pick out of the inside. This is the part that blows me away, though. This switching arrangement here. I mean, this thing is massive, but is this a rectifier? Is this a mechanical rectifier? I mean, that was my first thought. It looks like a mechanical rectifier that I've seen designed for, but I've never, really, I don't know. It looks like it could be, but the way it's set up, maybe it's a control valve. Maybe there's just valves, not electric. I can't tell. Knight and Company Builders, Sutter Creek, California, 1901. Yeah. I don't see the arches over the windows. There's windows right here on the other side, but can't see the arches here. They should be right in here somewhere. There somewhere. Having a heart attack? Oh. Need water? These are like, what is that? A load of some sort or a switching area? I get the feeling that these are big high-powered contactors, like they would, see how they're levered. Let me go over there, actually. The way they have the cantilevered lever to get, extra force. Like when they switch the power, they would, the hydraulics or something would pull these down and they'd make contact, and then the cables maybe come through those holes. The cables are gone because they were all copper. This would be where the power switched and connected to the land, or up to the land, you know. I would think there's a big old switch. But this up here, let's see, it's like wavy a transformer of some kind. You know, that's a strange design on it I've never seen before. Clowns frown too. Don't believe the lies. Alien devil, right? Crazy. Some I-beam for gurneying things in and out. Don't fall in the hole into the concrete below. Oh, that's into that room, huh? Drop my phone down there. Okay, yeah. You know, this thing here uses this thing here to move this rod, to twist this shaft, to actuate this arm, to change the position of those things. What are those things? We can't see them from this side, so, but it looks like where the water would go through, so maybe that's gating. It's some sort of control valve for the water flow, and it's got a whole bunch of small valves instead of one big one for better control, maybe. That would be my guess. That's my guess. I'm sticking to it. All those small ones would more effectively control the water rate, possibly, and then the flywheel keeps it stable at its, speed. The generator's pumping out the power. Power goes over here and goes to those switches. And same thing, it looks like they got 2 dynamos then. Yeah, 2 dynamos. This thing's awesome though. Reminds me of like some sort of air filter or something. I'll shut up for a minute. Look at that. What's it take to bend that steel? That's a pretty thick shaft. Okay, there's another control now. Okay, I think that's what that is. Oh, 3 dynamos. 3 dynamos. That's all right. So 3 dynamos. And see, up there they have the 3 portholes, but they didn't put cymatic windows in them. They ran pipe through them. A little bitty pipe. Look at that. There's copper down there. Somebody didn't want to get in and hack. There's a bunch of copper in here. Crap-a-rolly. Here's with the copper. It's flat, too. It's not round wire. It's flat. And it's hard to break off a piece of copper because you bend it and bend it and bend it, and then it gets stiffer and stiffer, but it still won't break. There's an arch right there in the wall, totally filled in. But it looks arch shaped. Maybe not. No, that one's right at an angle. It's got to be arch. Got to be. So I better go back the way I came here. No arches back here. A lot of rubble, though. Well, the concrete of the roof fell in. Apparently a rock came tumbling down from somewhere too and ended up there. That's a large rock to just be sitting there. I mean, it doesn't look like it came through the roof because there's still wood there. And why would they bring a big old boulder and just set it there? It seems odd. And I bet you there's, a couple $100 worth of copper here. We better start digging copper, right? Nobody care now. Sit here and pull off pieces of copper all day. It'd be cool to make some jewelry out of. Like this is, Tygh Valley Power Plant bracelet made out of patinaed green copper from the dynamo. Would anybody be interested in that? Maybe. I need my snippers. Snip. I don't feel like wiggling that till I break it right now. Look down here, there's a bunch. Look at that. They would peel the plates back until they could pull the copper out, I guess. It's all gnarled and shit. There's the wall behind. Not a brick to be seen. So far, no bricks. Okay. Try and get over to this other spot over here before I make a full-length motion picture film or something. This way. Here. Powerhouse. Cumtux. What that means? General Electric tanks. Pretty stout tank. I mean, that's filled with windings. Oh, crazy. What's this box? It's on this ledge. It's not as noticeable, but that's where they broke the archway out. But on the outside, you can see there's one arch stone still in here. Oh wait, and maybe that looks like an arch too. Looks like an angle. The angles are in the. It's like it's all the wrong place. Bust it out and put the pipe through. That doesn't make any sense. Probably not even the same one I was looking at from the outside. What is that? Aluminum channel rail. I gotta take that with me. I could use that. Great. Okay. Well, there we go. General Electric Company. Go see the General. I got all the copper out of these front ones. Yeah. So they diverted the river guess from there into these pipes. Pipes going down. Down there until it got over to there, and that's where it backfilled a little reservoir, and that's what kept the powerhouse in water. There's a bunch of people down there now. Crazy. This area, this the natural park over here is awesome. That spray coming off of there. I would so it says not to go over the railing. I so want to just climb down there and go up over there and like sit on that rock right here with the spray blasting. I guess it's only about 90 degrees. It's not terrible hot, but it's pretty hot. I think it might not be 90, it's probably 85. But it's warm. The rock just kind of fractures in what looks like blocks here, so it's kind of hard to say if it was, ancient blocks or it fractured in even increments. It seems to do that naturally. Who knows, right? And they still got a power thing here, right? It's like the power point. All right. It's a last little closer inspection here before we go, because my battery's low, Something hissing. Hear that? I think I'll go this way. Not that close of an inspection. My first thought was rattlesnake. I don't know, it was like, I mean, it sounded like air hissing, but none of these pipes should be under pressure, right? It's pretty neat. Climatic windows. It almost looks like bricks. Are those? No, those are. Yeah, those look like bricks, don't they? I mean, I can't solidly identify one because the surface still looks like the rock around here. Easily could be. They got this uniform square shape of like fire bricks or something. They kind of look like. That's funky. If it is, it'd be the first bricks I've seen. There are no bricks on this structure. It's all rocks, all fitted, irregular rock that comes out perfect and stays that way. But is like, do they have like, what do they have like, dozens of guys up here, and their job was to do nothing but sort through rocks and figure out which pieces of rock would fit perfectly together, and then the next group of guys like put them in the wall and placed them in place perfectly in order to build it. I mean, how do you make irregular rocks fit like that without a long time consuming process of fitting pieces together until they look right? And was it a kit? There's a place they make rocks that fit together just so, with no obvious pattern. And it's very mortared over. The mortar almost seems unnecessary. It's like, I don't know why. It's like, where it's not at, it doesn't seem to make any difference. The rocks fit together perfect. So it's like the mortar was extemporaneous. And there's something making those lines in between there, though. It's not just mortar. I don't think so. Okay, rattling things down there. We'll go this way. Yeah, I guess that's a little far of a jump. I'm gonna have to walk around. What am I thinking? It's like Spider-Man. Jump down there. See, there was an arch right here. Okay? And you can see that we're not, that's right there at the ground. And you can see the straight line even below the arch where it would have been kind of like a doorway. So what does it go down into the ground, into the rock? You know, what's really going on? I think that begs another look inside. I got a reason to sneak in. Not really. Who's got a reason to do anything? It's just that life is pointless unless you can make one. Seems. Just a thought. There's a hole there. Okay. See, each time I look at these things, I notice a little something I didn't catch before. It brings it a little closer. You know, another anomaly I didn't quite see before. Very, very much so. A lot of pipes coming through. I wonder if this looks like steel pipe. Square bolts and everything. I remember I went too quickly on moving the camera on my other video, so maybe I should try and slow it down a little bit. There's a bunch of copper in this dynamo still. You know, all through there. There's coils. I guess nobody wanted to climb down in there. In that mucky, nasty water. There's one chunk of steel, boy. Made by Pelton and General Electric. General Pelton. And yeah, did they order an airstrike on the place? Blow it to pieces? Those kind of do look like bricks, where you can see in there. They're the only bricks I've seen. I mean, even at this, it's not brick. Chunks of concrete from the ceiling and rocks. No bricks. Big doors though. These would probably go through that door. General Electric. General Electric. What if your last name was Electric and you were in the military and you made it to the rank of general? You would be literally General Electric. Be your name. What's with the big rock? I mean, big rock just sitting out, just hanging out here. It must have fell off later. But how did it land here? Because the walls are intact. The roof is intact. And yet there's a big chunking boulder just sitting there behind the dynamo where it really wouldn't be. I mean, seriously. That's big. It's not a little one. See, there's the dynamo. It's big. And this rock's just sitting there. And how'd it get there? Did it fall and magically morph its way through? Or maybe that's how that got broke right there. Somehow a rock came tumbling down the hill, but it didn't take out the pipe. It didn't take out that wood. Maybe that would. And it bounced off of that edge and landed here. And before these gates were put in, though, because obviously it didn't take out the gate, and the gate is built to go all the way to the edge. So maybe my forensics estimation is working there. Before these steel gates were installed, this rock made its way through the wall, ba-bam, and landed there. I bet you that's gotta be it. That's gotta be it. Alright. Anyway. And busted a piece off of this thing, right? Busted the end off. And that's it down there. I don't know why it would go that way. So. Move like no one is watching. I thought it was dance like no one is watching. Move to. You can go here. Bunches of copper. Bunches. Lines of field energy. And there's the electromagnets. They're still intact, I think. Look at that. The other ones were chopped out, right? Yeah, maybe. I wonder if those were fixed magnets. Are they actually magnets? If I can find one that's exposed more. Nah, I don't think they're retained. Those are electromagnets. Oh, and here's where the rings went around. They had wooden ends for the wires, the wrapping, whatever, the coils. And then they would place them on there, and then and then they had slip rings. So somewhere around here was the slip rings. Slip rings were probably copper rings too. So somebody would have took those for sure, right? Much newer floor here. Waiting for Tom to get our pictures. There's a little one right here. Another small. Oh, they had multiple size dynamos, I guess, right? Yeah. Once it went to the big ones, maybe they still had enough pressure to spin some little ones. Or this one got water from right here off the side. And spun this baby up right here. And there's the rotor. The stator was there. Learning how to train my demons. Lovely. Or are they training you? Wow. Okay. A portal. It's like an electromagnetic portal. That's what I think demons, that's what I think they are. They're like spirits with no body, and that's why injecting things with needles is bad. In that it creates a portal into your bloodstream, and your blood is a very special fluid. It's not it's a liquid that carries oxygen. No, it's a lot more than that. It's the vessel that carries your soul. It exists inside that liquid. That's on while you're on Earth. That's where it resonates in and gives the shape to the being that you are, in my opinion. And so when you pierce the vessel where the liquid is and you inject something into that liquid directly, that's why doctors love needles. We got to inject you. I'm going to inject you as much as they can. Inject you with demons. Isn't that wonderful? Yay for doctors. They're helping me. Yeah, whatever. I better be dead if they take me to a doctor. I want to get over there and swim in that pool. It's a big pool. And then look at the next one up too. That would be awesome to be up there. With all that mist, the way the mist blows sideways across there. That'd be so nice and cool. Don't get vertigo. It's awesome. Look what the pipes running down. Crazy. But the way that's carved out into that bowl. It's awesome. People coming, but oh well. Coming down there. This tree's been signed by zillions of people. Strange markings the insects have left on this tree.
Alright, check out this instrument.